So I've been following the Chef Pii Dave Gourmet saga for a while, like pretty much since it first hit TikTok. I was there, I was talking about it, and I feel like we're starting to kind of enter the last stage of this whole situation. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So we have like a full-on Dave's Gourmet statement. I know I read a statement last time, but we have a new statement because since then Chef Pii has obviously kind of responded and accused Dave's Gourmet of lying and not treating her well, and she was having, you know, she did the GoFundMe to possibly maybe sue or get some money from him that she felt like she was owed, even though that ended up being kind of a lie. So I will link my last video in the description just so you guys can kind of go through that statement and go through her content. But today we have a new statement from Dave's Gourmet. It was very difficult to find. It was actually T-Spill that sent this to me, and she was like, hey, I found this. So it was very difficult to find, but here it is. So I'm super forever grateful. And Muffin, please get off. Muffin, please. And subscribe with the bell icon for engagement. Let's just get into it. So this is called Pink Sauce X Dave Gourmet's Partnership Timeline. In August 2022, Dave's Gourmet, DG, signed an agreement with Veronica Shaw and her entities Pink Sauce and Flavor Crazy Inc., in which Flavor Crazy, Pink Sauce, Shaw were responsible for promoting Pink Sauce through the digital content requirement to post about Pink Sauce on social media at least 3 times a week. Dave's Gourmet was in charge of achieving the required shelf stability for the product, making the format acceptable for commercial production, and following FDA's food production guidelines, production and sales of the Pink Sauce product online and to retailers, which is obviously something that she wasn't able to do. She was able to market herself pretty well on TikTok, but she was definitely not able to make a product that was safe and followed FDA guidelines. At the time, Shaw was not producing Pink Sauce because FDA instructed her to cease all the production due to quality concerns. She was making Pink Sauce in her kitchen and was shipping it without refrigeration in the heat of the summer, and the sauce frequently went bad during shipping, as evidenced by many social media posts from buyers. And that includes obviously the girl that did the like live debate with her on Camara's show and got dragged by Veronica, Chef Pii, when in reality, like, everyone was right and that girl was right too. The products were not stable and they should not have been shipped the way they were shipped. The sauce was not shelf stable and was not safe for shipping without refrigeration. There was a huge negative publicity online and on social media due to the quality issues that Shaw had experienced. According to the agreement, Shaw received an upfront payment of $45,000 as part of the agreement for Dave's Gourmet to pursue the sales of Pink Sauce. According to the agreement, Shaw was responsible for all the refunds for the products that predated the agreement. After the agreement was signed, we learned that neither Shaw nor her entities had enough funds to cover all the refunds to the people who never received the product that she was responsible for according to the agreement. There was a hold put by Shopify and PayPal most of the cash in Shaw's account due to multiple customer complaints, and even the cash that was there was mostly not available to pay refunds. So Dave's Gourmet couldn't see the customers disappointed with no product and no refund, so it provided approximately $30,000 to cover the refunds, even though this was Shaw's responsibility. Some of these funds came back to Dave's Gourmet later in the year after the hold on Shaw's account was lifted by PayPal and Shopify. So obviously that was the agreement. She was supposed to give refunds. He gave her an upfront payment of $45,000, but she ended up flying through all the money that she had made through TikTok Shop, or I actually can't remember how she was reselling. I'm pretty sure it was like TikTok Shop. And the thing is, I bet she made loads of money when that first happened, but obviously the refunds, people want their money back when something doesn't get shipped properly and is not produced properly. So she had probably like made the money, spent the money in the time between sending out the product and people requesting a refund. She had already like spent the money, which is obviously super irresponsible. And this is why a lot of people don't, I guess, have like a business mind. They have like an idea for a product and they have a way to market it, but there is no concept of like business and no concept of money, financials, responsibility, anything like that. And that's why we get into these situations with these small businesses who just don't know how to run a business and don't know how to take care of money. Prior to entering the partnership with Dave's Gourmet, Shaw reviewed and negotiated the agreement with the help from her attorney. According to the agreement, Shaw receives royalties that depend on the gross profit that the company makes on the sales of Pink Sauce, and there is a milestone payment if certain goals are met. So the royalty payments are based on gross profit because at the time we did not know what the Pink Sauce product would cost, given that it contains expensive ingredients like dragon fruit that needed to be factored in. When we negotiated this agreement, we walked Shaw and her attorney through the difference between sales and gross profit to make sure that everyone is on the same page. All payments have been communicated and paid on time in accordance with the agreement. Dave's Gourmet also advised Shaw that Pink Sauce royalties should not be her only source of income, as they can fluctuate, and she should have a regular job to make sure that she has financial stability. At the time, Dave's Gourmet did not know if any sales would be generated from Pink Sauce. I mean, obviously we can assume that Pink Sauce would sell, but obviously you should still be doing other things and not relying on just this. Chef Pii saw dollar signs. She thought, wow, this is my big break. I went viral and it's gonna last forever, and now I don't really have to do anything. There's just gonna be a paycheck coming into my account every month. And that obviously wasn't the case. In the fall of 2022, Shaw was struggling financially. Dave's Gourmet decided to be helpful, and over the course of several months provided Shaw with multiple cash advances that total more than $40,000. So that's $45,000 that she got as the like upfront payment. Then Dave's Gourmet let her borrow $30,000 for refunds. Some of that did come back to them, but it didn't say that all of it came back to them. And then now they gave her $40,000 without charging Shaw interest or fees because she was struggling financially, because once again she had spent the $45,000 that they gave her as an advance payment. These advances were supposed to be offset by the future royalties that Shaw was going to earn, so they're being super considerate. In March 2023, Shaw communicated that she had spent the entirety of her previous advances and that she needed another advance to feed her children and avoid being evicted. I mean, when you have children and you have to have a roof over your head, but most importantly, you have to have a roof over your kid's head, I think financial responsibility is like number one. But she, as we're going to find out later on, was spending money on, you know, birthday parties, expensive trainers, expensive clothes, designer stuff. It's like when you have children, that should not be your number one priority. It's not having very nice trainers, it's making sure your kids can eat. So the fact that she already spent her like prepayment, her first advance, and now she's asking for a second advance because now her kids are going to be starving and now she's going to get evicted. It's like, did you not think about this when you spent $75,000? Dave's Gourmet sent her 2 advances that total $5,000, but again encouraged her to continue working her other job and pursue her private chef career as she had been doing prior to partnering to commercially produce pink sauce. Shaw wanted to know more about the activities related to pink sauce at Dave's Gourmet. In the beginning of 2023, the Dave's Gourmet team set up weekly standing meetings to discuss the brand strategy and collaborate with Shaw. And Shaw only attended a couple of these meetings and had not been in attendance since, so she clearly doesn't care enough. She acts like she cares, but she doesn't actually care, and I think this is just an easy paycheck for her. February 2023, Shaw requested over $10,000 in marketing expenses to throw herself a birthday party. So not even feed my children, put a roof over their head. No. She needs $10,000 for a birthday party. Like, you turn a new year every year. It doesn't actually matter. No one cares about your birthday. Well, that sounded mean. No one cares about your birthday party. Like, you can just have a birthday, spend it with your kids, buy them some food, and move on with your day. And also asked Dave's Gourmet to pay for her dress that cost more than $800 and shoes that cost over $600 that would potentially be used in a TikTok video. Dave's Gourmet suggested a smaller budget, and because Dave's Gourmet would not approve these expenses, Shaw distanced herself from Dave's Gourmet's collaborative marketing efforts. February 2023, Shaw attempted to submit business expense reports for personal expenses like buying 4 pairs of sneakers or expensing her entire grocery bills. These receipts are attached in this link, so they do attach receipts. Dave's Gourmet informed her that such activities are fraudulent and asked a lot of questions related to receipts submitted. Shaw did not respond to any of those questions. May 2023, due to large advances on Shaw's royalty payment and the deduction of refunds covered by Dave's Gourmet related to the period prior to the agreement, the balance of milestone royalty payments owed to Shaw came to $666.86. Dave's Gourmet decided to hold off on deducting the $10,000 in advances from the royalties due until a later period so that Shaw would have more funds to cover her needs at the time, and instead paid Shaw $10,000, $666.68. This balance and all payments processed have been outlined and communicated to Shaw consistently. Dave's Gourmet deducted the above mentioned advances of $10,000 at the second quarter royalty payment. The Q2 royalty payment due was less than $10,000, so the net effect was that Shaw had a negative balance of $6,000 that she owed to Dave's Gourmet due to the previous advances taken. Contrary to Shaw's belief, both Q1 and Q2 royalty payments are calculated in exactly the same way. The only difference is the deduction of the advance for Q2. So it's not like they were stealing from her. I think she only thought like, did you guys steal pink sauce from me? It's like, no, you just have so many advances that you're in the negative now. Clearly explained the deduction to Shaw in our email and offered to walk her and her attorney through the calculation. June 2023, Shaw submitted an expense report to Dave's Gourmet that included a request for payment for her time dedicated to making social media content since October 2022. 1,400 hours at $90 per hour in Shaw's invoice. That is just like peak entitlement. I find Chef Pii insufferable. Such request was outside of the terms of the agreement, as Shaw's compensation per the agreement was through royalties and there was no provision to compensate her on a per hour basis. Dave's Gourmet asked for clarifications related to the various other expenses listed by Shaw in the invoice, but backups receipts and explanations were not provided. Shaw informed Dave Gourmet that she did not need to provide us with the receipts or explanations to get reimbursed. Dave Gourmet reminded Shaw that business expenses need to be pre-approved by Dave Gourmet. Dave Gourmet has kept this timeline of information private until Shaw went on social media with a defamatory statement regarding the integrity of our business, which has put us in an unfortunate position to share details that would have otherwise remained private. In total, Shaw has received $147,000 in payments from her partnership with Dave Gourmet and Pink Sauce since August 2022 to date. That's a year. So she made $150K in a year, and she was struggling financially and felt like she needed to be compensated another 1,400 hours at $90 per hour. Let's actually give this a gander. 1,400 hours at $90 is another $126,000. So she actually wanted to be paid pretty much double, because apparently $150K is just not enough for her to live off. We initially told the journalist that she received more than $120,000 and have now tracked all the payments and are sharing the precise number with all the banking confirmations in this link. So there's even more receipts. This is super confirmed. It's our understanding that Shaw probably spent about $10,000 of this amount to buy video recording equipment, props, clothes, accessories that we used to promote Pink Sauce, but we have not seen those receipts confirming this. Because of all the advances provided to Shaw, the funds sent to Shaw exceed what she has earned under the terms of the agreement. So she actually owes them money. And then yet she has a GoFundMe because they're scamming her, apparently. In addition, Shaw had certain obligations in the agreement related to her social media activities that she has violated multiple times. Dave Gourmet reminded Shaw multiple times that she needed to adhere to the terms of the agreement, but she ignored Dave Gourmet requests. After Shaw went to social media to create the illusion that she is not being compensated properly, Dave Gourmet communicated to both Shaw and her attorney that Dave Gourmet will cover the cost of Shaw's legal counsel to go through the provisions of the agreement and the payments to confirm that the payments are correct. And Dave Gourmet is following the agreement because this is Shaw's legal counsel. We could not pay him directly, and this is why we proposed to reimburse Shaw for those expenses. This proposal was rejected by Shaw. I wonder why she would not want her attorney to look through and confirm things. Is it because she's lying, allegedly? So update on the 29th of September, Dave Gourmet's successful support of Shaw was rooted in our desire for a successful partnership. Our primary objective throughout this partnership was to ensure the successful commercialization of Pink Sauce while upholding our company's values of integrity, transparency, and commitment to our partners and customers. Unfortunately, despite Dave Gourmet's continuous efforts to maintain a constructive relationship with Shaw, our efforts were met with recurring challenges. In August 2023, we sent multiple messages to Shaw and her attorney suggesting creative ways to mitigate the issues and have an amicable working relationship. In return, we received a message from Shaw that Dave Gourmet needs to pay her $1.5 million if we want to continue selling Pink Sauce. The current agreement in place is evergreen, and Dave Gourmet does not need any special extension payments, renewals, or permissions from Shaw to continue selling Pink Sauce under the terms of the agreement. So Shaw's request was odd and did not make any sense. I mean, I'm glad they're being, just straight to the point. On August 25th, Shaw notified Dave Gourmet that she was evicted from her apartment that weekend due to unpaid rent. Dave Gourmet scheduled a call with Shaw and for approximately 2 hours discussed our proposal on how the relationship could work in the future. This proposal required Shaw to post the Pink Sauce related content on social media twice a week and included bi-weekly payments to Shaw to provide her with a stable level of income for a period of time. She agreed in principle with Dave Gourmet's proposal, but wanted her attorney to finalize the details. Shaw then asked for assistance with her overdue rent. Dave Gourmet wanted to be helpful, but hesitated given the prior history of Shaw. They're being so respectful. Dave Gourmet preferred to wait until the new agreement of Shaw was fully in place before providing any help, and that was not possible over the weekend since Shaw's attorney would need to be involved and he was not available on the weekend. And by Monday, Shaw would have been evicted. In the spirit of future cooperation and creating goodwill with Shaw, Dave Gourmet took another chance on Shaw and paid off her past due rent totaling $14,000. With this additional payment, the total funds sent to Shaw equal $161,000 that weekend and prevented her and her children from being evicted. That backfired for Dave Gourmet, no surprise here given the history. The following week, Dave Gourmet sent a legal draft of our proposal discussed on the call with Shaw to her attorney. Shaw indicated that her attorney would come back to us, but he never did. In the meantime, we received another strange demand from Shaw for $250,000. She has now essentially asked them for about $2 million extra on top of what they've already paid her. And then she posted her recent video on social media with false accusations directed at Dave Gourmet. None of them have any merit, and bear in mind, she posted the video shortly after Dave Gourmet helped her and her children not get evicted. The lack of, it's entitlement, it's also just ungratefulness, which is insane. We received many messages from people encouraging us to sue Shaw for defamation. We are considering all options, including a lawsuit, and are also mindful of the distractions that it will cause for our organization and the difficulty of collecting any court-awarded damages from Shaw, given that she has spent all the funds. They're basically saying she doesn't have any money because we used to give her money because she didn't have any money. So now asking money from her is probably not gonna end well for us. We are a family-owned business and our reputation is dear to us. We are asking for your support. Shaw's GoFundMe page containing false claims is still live. We have reported Shaw's GoFundMe page for fraud. She lied there that she did not receive any payments, but now is admitting publicly that she has received over $120,000 in payments from Dave Gourmet, just as we said. But GoFundMe has not taken action to remove Shaw's page, where she is asking for funds under false pretenses. Please consider reporting the page, asking for a refund if you have donated. Yeah, if you have donated for some reason, please ask for a refund from GoFundMe, because this is technically a fraudulent GoFundMe page, allegedly. But also, if you do want to help out Dave's Gourmet, do report it, because she lied. She lied in her initial statement, that she had to correct it, and she's still technically lying, so that's all alleged. But if you want to be involved in helping Dave's Gourmet, you can just report the page. That's probably the easiest way to help them out. Carrie Irving from Dallas Mavericks donated $24,000 to Shaw's GoFundMe campaign, probably without knowing the facts. We want other people to have factual information on this case prior to considering making a donation. We hope that people share the facts on social media about the sequence of events related to this matter, so that Shaw can no longer spread misinformation about our company. Needless to say, we are very disappointed in the status of the partnership with Shaw, but we hope that you still give us the opportunity to share our products with you. They kind of go on about the rest of it. I think it's absolutely insane that they gave her a chance after the way that she had messed up with pink sauce originally. Like, she had great marketing on social media, she went viral for it, that's great, but she had no clue about making a good sauce that you can, you know, send across the country. Dave's Gourmet swooped in, covered all the costs, gave her so much money, gave her advances, helped her out for her to screw them over. Then they helped her out again for her to screw them over again. And I just don't understand why GoFundMe would keep that page up. And yeah, I just think if you guys want to help, here's how to help. Here's all the information for you guys. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Subscribe, hit the bell icon for engagement. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.